An investigation is underway in North Carolina after a lion escaped its enclosure and killed a 22-year-old intern.
There is an important piece of legislation coming up for consideration in the North Carolina General Assembly. It is the Exotics Bill. The Exotics Bill, if passed, will ban the private ownership of exotic animals in North Carolina. The ban would include most species of wild cats, hyenas, primates, and wolves. The Exotics Bill, previously known as House Bill 554, was up for consideration in 2015. The bill passed in the House but stalled in the Senate and was never passed. North Carolina is one of 4 states that doesn't have a law banning or restricting the private ownership of exotic animals. An attack in December of 2018 brought the passage of the Exotics Bill back into the public eye. Alexandra Black was mauled to death by a lion at a self-described conservation center in Caswell County. Prior to that, a 3-year-old was blinded by his father's tiger in 1995. A 10-year-old boy was killed by his uncle's tiger in 2003. Also in 2003, a 14-year-old girl was seriously injured by her dad's tiger. The Humane Society of the United States is working to help get this bill passed. I contacted Gail Thompson, who's the North Carolina State Director. I set up an interview with her to ask her about the history and future of the Exotics Bill.
I'm Gail Thompson. I am the North Carolina State Director for the Humane Society of the United States. So we're taking a little bit of a different stand this year, and like I said, it is a public safety issue, and so I think that we're putting at the forefront this is a public safety issue. I think that it's tragic, as the accident was in December when Alex Black was mauled to death. I think it's raised a lot of awareness, and people didn't know that these types of places existed, and so I think that we are looking at it in that perspective. It is more public safety and more law enforcement issue. You know what? I don't like to use this answer, but I wasn't around at that time. But I can take a guess. I think it did not pass the House until the night before crossover, and so I think it probably ran out of time and it just died in the Senate. There's a certain flow, and there's people that control the flow of the bills that they bring up for votes on the floor, and that bill, whether it was intentionally not pulled up for a vote or whether they ran out of time, I think there's room to debate that. But basically, they did not pass the House until right before crossover, and then there's not a lot of time to get it moving. So the bill will be filed this week, and we have a sponsor, and we have, I believe, 2 co-sponsors right now, 2 primary co-sponsors. Once the bill is filed, they will circulate the memo to get other potential co-sponsors to sign on to the bill. We will be assigned at least one committee where we'll go through the committee, and there's a chance, I think, I did hear this year that they have been assigning it to multiple committees, so there's a chance that we may go through more than one committee. On the House side, then it would come up for, if it goes through and passes committee, it would go to the House for a full vote on House floor, and then from there it would go to the Senate. What we have to have happen is that in order for it to still be an active bill, it needs to pass the House by May 9th, which is crossover. So any bill, in order for it to remain active, needs to pass one of the two chambers by crossover day, so that's May 9th. So I think that we have 2 months, so if we file it this week, by the end of the week, it's March 8th. That gives us 2 months to get through the committees that we need to get through in the House, and pass it in the House, and then we can keep it alive to go through the Senate.
For more information, visit www.animallaw.info or contact the Humane Society of the United States. The best thing to do is to stay educated and help spread the word. Thanks for watching.